to Find Out Nation. I'm one of your hosts, Jamie.
I'm one of your hosts, Nicole.
And we're here to talk about what happens when a nation starts fucking around and finding out. We have a lot going on this week. Last week we were all about the Iran war, which we are still in.
Yes.
Shockingly, I know. We're all
It was going to be done. It was going to be over so quick.
It was going to be over so quick. And he still says that like it's going to be so quick. But we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, Nicole.
You want your countdowns?
I do, especially because someone made a comment about like one last big legislative push on the American affordability bill that they're trying to push through before November.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, we're close enough that they're talking like they can only get one more bill approved before November. And I'm like, that feels good.
Yeah.
Like, that definitely feels good. So
yeah,
we're 200. Like the countdown's going to feel good today.
Yeah. We're 236 days away. Yeah.
That is nice.
Yeah.
That is good. I love it. Okay.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that that they think there's only one shot left to get a big bill. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so you and I just went over all of our notes. This was not one that I put in my notes because it's not far enough along that I'm like, oh, we should talk about it. But there is a new bill called the Affordable Housing Act. I think we might have talked about it last week, where it was like Trump and a lot of his people are trying to prevent like big corporations from buying up all the affordable housing and then using it for like hiking up rentals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like they're struggling to try and create it into a bipartisan bill that they could actually get passed. But of course, everyone's trying to get a bill on affordability passed before November. And this is like the thing people want to run on. And so
interesting.
It is. It's a big thing.
Yeah, I didn't realize
now that like, but one of the senators that I was reading an article about was like, yeah, this will be the last piece of legislation that we'll be able to get done before we start all the campaigning. And
I did not realize that.
Like,
interesting. Huh.
I know. I was like,
yeah.
So, anyway, kind of excited.
We are 4:15 in.
Okay. It's feeling better.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Like we still have a long way to go.
It's not 650.
I mean,
but still,
yeah.
Like we're getting like we're solidly into a year and months.
That's
know what
true.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like
that's
when we were at 380, it was like a year and some days, but now we're solidly into a year and some months. So that's
true.
Feeling better.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I'm trying to be optimistic.
Yes, I like it.
Does he still have the shingles?
Oh, I didn't. So when I saw, was it yesterday maybe when he was talking to the press, or today? Maybe it was a video from today. I didn't notice his neck, but also I don't know. Does it look like it went away?
The last post that I saw about it was on March 2nd. And like the last major post I see about it, I was looking to see if there's like any new posts about it, but I'm not seeing it yet. So.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I know. As he keeps slurring his words more and more and more every day, I'm like, yeah, we're not doing so hot.
Right.
We're not doing so hot.
We're winning. How's that feel? We're winning. We're all winning.
Yes. Oh my God.
Okay. Speaking of winning.
Yeah.
I had to get gas today.
Jamie so I got gas Sunday at Costco and it was $2.99.
Yeah.
And he got gas on his way home today. He checked the Costco app and then he stopped at Quick Trip to get a drink. Where did you get it at?
I went to Costco, $2.99. I'm like, this hurts. Premium was $3.19.
I was going to say, I think he said that at the Quick Trip he stopped at to get a drink, it was like $3.25, $3.35, some shit like that.
And like for any viewers that don't live in Kansas City is by far the cheapest gas in the nation. Like, we are typically one of the cheapest places for gas in the nation. And
Yeah.
so
When our shit's
for
above
us,
$3 a gallon, holy
it's
shit.
crazy. We are
Yeah.
usually running around like upper 190s, something
Well,
like
I was gonna say,
that.
I think we were at 230 maybe right
Yeah.
before Iran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so to be now all into the threes, and like Costco
Mm-hmm.
obviously is going to be a discounted price. So
Right.
to be into the threes is unheard
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we are still in the Iran war, which again was supposed to be a super short war. We're hearing all over the administration, the House, the Senate that nobody has any plans for how we're going to get out of this war. Trump
Yep.
was in Kentucky rallying, saying, we've got to get this done. Like, don't you know?
Yeah.
And so we are in this war for whatever crazy fucking reason. Um, we heard today that it is likely that the deadly strike that killed, what was it, 168 kids and
Something like
14
that.
teachers
Yeah.
was performed by the United States. So this is from CNN. The February 28th strike on the school in Minab occurred while the U.S. military was conducting strikes on a neighboring Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps facility, the initial investigation found. U.S. Central Command created target coordinates for the strike using outdated information provided by the Defense Intelligence Agency, which contributed to the mistake, the sources briefed on the preliminary findings told CNN. In response to a request from comment, the Defense Intelligence Agency spokesman said the incident is under investigation. We defer to the Pentagon.
Yeah.
A spokesman for the U.S. Central Command also declined to comment on the preliminary findings, citing the ongoing investigation. So, shockingly,
Yeah.
Trump was asked if he knew about the strike and whether or
He
not
said,
it
what
was
strike?
under investigation, to which, of course, he knew nothing about it.
Oh my
He
God.
also then said, because they cited evidence of a U.S. Tomahawk debris. So Iran's been posting like pictures of the debris from the missile strike. Sorry, that felt like I was like, oh my, I'm scratching my brain here, so I had to pause. That's crazy. Anyway, Iran has been showing like debris from the missile strike, and it shows like clear evidence that it came from a Tomahawk.
Oh my God.
CNN confirmed that the cruise missiles are produced by U.S. defense contractor Raytheon and are held by only a small group of U.S. allies authorized to purchase them. Even Israel, one of Washington's closest partners, does not possess them, and multiple munitions experts confirmed to CNN that Iran does not have them either. So here's Trump getting on live TV, and he's like, oh, Iran has Tomahawks. It's probably that, like, who knows who it could be, because it could be them.
Who knows?
And right,
it could be anyone.
Yeah.
It's maybe it's Kenya. How?
Yeah.
We don't know.
That's right. Who knows?
Fucking Christ, with the goddamn lying and just the never ending flow of bullshit out of this guy's mouth.
Oh,
just goddamn constant.
For sure. So the other big thing that is with Iran is that, of course, they're now threatening oil at prices at $200 a barrel. Earlier this week, they were at $120 a barrel. They settled back down to 90. But with fears of supply disruption, Trump's decided to tap into our strategic oil reserves. And I think he's guaranteed something like 172 million gallons or something like that. And Iran, of course, is doubling down on that by bombing merchant ships that are traveling the Strait of, I can't pronounce the name.
Hormuz, I think.
And I read all of this is my problem. I read all of my news. I don't listen to it. I don't know how to pronounce anything unless it's on the Daily Show, but I try and come to you with, anyway. But anyway, so at this point they hit another 3 ships. They damaged 2 and then did some major damage to one of them today in the Gulf of Mexico, or the Persian Gulf. And they say that they've hit 14 ships, I think, at this point.
Yeah, something like that. And I think, I mean, they said the Strait of Hormuz is closed, folks.
Yeah.
Don't fucking try it. And then Trump's out here like, don't be a bunch of pussies. Do it anyway. And then Iran's like, here you go. And blowing up fucking tankers. Like,
yep.
This is what is amazing to me. They all just seem gobsmacked at how much Iran is fighting back. Like, you really didn't have any intelligence that would tell you this was going to happen? You couldn't have looked back at history?
Right. And they're saying that these attacks are being done by drones. If there's one thing that, like, you should, like, for real, we did not think. Yeah. I mean, you can be one dude with $1 billion worth of drones and be able to attack all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
They're saying that there could be drone attacks on U.S. soil. Like, if this continues to escalate, Iran could send drone attacks to bomb the West Coast. I'm like, of course.
Do you think that their absolute ignorance of other people, countries, nationalities, whatever you want to say, that they just thought they're so backwards and fucking stupid over there that they don't have the intelligence to be able to really sustain us bombing them, and they couldn't do any harm to anybody else? Do you know what I mean?
Well,
is it just ego?
Clearly the fact that, like, we bombed a school shows that our intelligence isn't the best.
Yeah. What do you mean? It's top notch.
I know. You should be embarrassed. Oh, we thought we were bombing this whatever group, and we shot up a school. Really? Like, you look like idiots.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, to your point, like, is it that they didn't know, or did they not care? Like, did anybody bother to ask, hey, is Iran able to shoot back?
Right. Like, how long could they sustain an extended war with the U.S.? Like, I mean, Trump just keeps talking about, in the memes they're fucking posting, the fucking memes, girl. Like, fucking SpongeBob memes and shit about being at war. And I'm like, do you think you're just going to carpet bomb fucking the entire country of Iran? Is that what you think you're going to do?
And they're super trolling him on the Epstein files.
Yes.
Like, they're putting up all these AI videos and, whatever, that are all, like, super trolling the Epstein files. Which I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Of course, we're the joke of the fucking world at this point.
Yes, it's insanity.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Jesus.
Okay. And the real insanity is that the Trump administration has said in the first 6 days that this cost us $11 billion. $11 billion. Technically, $11.3 billion is what they gave us. So first 6 days, $11 billion. And we don't have the money to pay for healthcare. Right. We don't have the money to pay for, right? Like, really?
Like, we can't give every kid in this country a free school lunch at a public school.
Right.
But we got money for this shit.
6 days.
Oh my God.
I know. Okay. So Iran's fucked. We're fucked, and Iran's fucked. It's all fucked.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. But speaking of fucked.
Oh.
Poor Kristi Lynn.
Oh.
And I've decided that she's no longer Kristi, because that's too professional for her.
Agreed.
She's going to forever be Kristi Lynn.
Yeah. Yeah. She's got a real white trash name. We need to be using it to its fullest extent.
100%. If we're going to be white trash, we're going to use that white trash name.
Yeah.
Kristi Lynn got fired.
I know. It's so sad. The memes, girl, of like justice for cricket and all this kind of shit. Like, I was dying. Like, it was hilarious. Like, the in memoriam things that were coming out. Oh my God.
Yep. So theoretically, she wasn't fired. She was reassigned as the envoy for the Shield of the Americas.
What is that?
Nobody knows. It's a made up.
It's a made up thing.
Made up job for her.
Got
Congratulations, Kristi Lynn. You get that made up job.
Is she the Iron Dome over the Americas?
I know, to shield the Americas. You know what it is? It's like, hey, when Venezuela starts shooting back, I need to put you in front of me so that you get shot, not me. Like, that's Donald Trump's plan.
Yes,
like, you're the human shield of the Americas. Like, that's his plan. An administration official told NBC News that Trump decided to fire Noem because of a culmination of her many unfortunate leadership failures, including the fallout in Minnesota, the ad campaign problem, the allegations of infidelity, the mismanagement of her staff, and her constant feuding with the heads of other agencies, including CBP and ICE. The official added, Kristi's drama, which why he didn't use Kristi Lynn, I don't know.
I know. What is going on?
Her drama sadly overshadowed and distracted from
Trump's drama?
The administration's extremely popular immigration agenda, which will continue in full force.
You know what I love about this White House? Their daily affirmations to themselves. Everyone in the U.S. loves our immigration. Like, they just stand in front of the mirror and they tell themselves every morning.
Stuart Smiley. You are 1,000%. You are 1,000% correct. And yes, everybody loves me.
Yes.
Her boy toy Corey is also likely to leave.
Yes.
DHS.
He'll lose his job too.
Trump has tapped MMA fighter Markwayne Mullin.
Okay. Pause right there. Because, girl, when I read that he was an undefeated MMA champ, I'm like, hold the fucking phone. So I'm Googling this shit because I'm like, what?
No way.
So, because back in the day, the husband used to be all about MMA. And I'm like, I've never heard of this fucking backwoods motherfucker. So, yeah, because he fought 3 regional fights in 1 year, and yes, won all 3 fights. So that made him yes, technically he is undefeated, but you only did 3 bouts in a regional fight. Correct.
Nicole, I'm undefeated. I've never been defeated before.
Exactly. I'm like, let's be real fucking careful with throwing around he's an undefeated MMA fighter. Like, he's out here like he's fucking, what's his name? Anyway, doesn't matter. I can't think of the guy's name. But yes, like,
what's something that I've done?
Conor McGregor. Like, he's not fucking Conor McGregor out here. Like, calm the fuck down.
What have I done that technically I'm undefeated at? I am an undefeated. I'll come up with something.
Yeah.
I'll come up with something that I can say, oh yeah, I competed in that and I won 1 time and therefore I am absolutely undefeated for sure.
Well, you're undefeated in debate, right?
Bitch, I am undefeated in debate.
Okay.
No, not really. I lost all the time, but that's because I didn't really want to do all the work. But
but it's your story to tell, which means you're undefeated.
Right. And everybody loves me.
Correct.
Just like Stuart Smiley.
Exactly. Yes. 100%.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But this fucking guy, like, what the? Can you believe that this is going to be even worse? It's going to be even worse.
That's the thing. Is that's what like kills me is that, last week we were talking about how there was a big push for quality and not quantity that, unfortunately, like the administration's entire focus has just been on quantity of people, getting them out.
Right.
And not focused around quality, violent criminals and getting those people out.
Right.
And that's not going to change anytime in any way, shape, or form. And let's not forget that Kristi Noem is not the only person that mishandled the shootings in Minnesota, the murders in Minnesota.
That's right.
So like, yeah, nothing's going to change. Like, you're going to put Markwayne Mullin in front of there and he's going to say the same fucking things Kristi Noem. Sorry. Kristi Lynn said.
It's
not going to make any difference whatsoever.
Correct. And this is also the same fucking guy who thought he was going to fist fight the head of the Teamsters during a congressional hearing. And the guy from the Teamsters is like, if you think you're man enough, like, fucking stand up then. You know what I mean?
God, so, can you imagine?
No. So like,
can you imagine?
Fucking Markwayne Mullin, this fucking jackass that's half cocked all the time because he's clearly got an inferiority complex, just like Trump, just like Hegseth, just like all of them, which is why we got to be running around, half cocked all the time, ready to fight somebody because we think that's the only way we can prove how tough we are because our micro penis might get found out if we don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This shit's going to go even more off the rails.
100,000%. So yeah, poor Kristi Lynn.
I know.
And she's now the human shield of the Americas.
Hey, did she have to move out of her house? You think that she stole from like the captain of whatever branch of the military it was? Do you think they? Yeah. Do you think they made her move out of the house so he could have it back?
So technically she moved there, and it was the home of the commandant that she was accused of, and technically I guess she didn't live there. It was another house the commandant would oftentimes stay in, but he wasn't
Oh,
staying there. So in all fairness, like, it was a whole weird story. With that
okay.
said, she moved there for her own, like, protection. And
Mm.
so I'm guessing they probably are going to let her stay unless Trump
And
so,
she still
because
has a government job.
right. And all of the so yes, he doesn't like a bunch of things. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's obviously throwing her under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently the thing he hated the most was when they were grilling her about her $2 million ad that featured her as, like,
220, girl.
Homeland Security Barbie. What?
220 million.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when they were talking through that, and
Okay.
she was like, "Oh yeah, this was Trump's idea," and he
Oh,
had
you
gone in
don't
and
do
was
that.
like, "I didn't know anything about it." Like,
Oh,
that's the thing that really pissed him off the
yeah. We
worst.
all know he knew about it, but you don't fucking
Yeah,
say like he was okay with it. Like you just have to fall on the
that's right.
fucking sword, you dumb cunt.
That's right. You fall on the sword. Maybe I misunderstood. Maybe I didn't
Right.
realize what he was saying. Maybe, whatever.
Yeah.
You fall on the fucking sword. To be honest, the fact that he, like, gave her the job of
Yeah.
human shield is kind of surprising. So,
Yeah.
anyway,
Oh, Kristi Lynn.
Kristi Lynn, poor Kristi Lynn. So, speaking of having to relocate,
Oh God.
Pam Bondi had to relocate.
Where's she going to?
So, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi has reportedly been relocated to heavily guarded quarters on a military base in Washington, D.C. She had been receiving threats from drug cartels and individuals upset over
Mm-mm.
the Epstein files. The New York Times, citing people familiar with the situation, indicated that Bondi was moved from an apartment in D.C. sometime in the past month after federal law enforcement officials flagged threats against her. Bondi reportedly began receiving threats in the wake of the Trump administration's capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro in January, based on information from a senior official with direct knowledge of the situation. So, yeah,
Oh
people are
my
pissed
God.
at Pam Bondi. And in all fairness, speaking of human shield, like, we're throwing Kristi Noem under the bus for
Uh-huh.
immigration. We're throwing Pam Bondi under the bus for the Epstein files.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah. So Pam Bondi
Wow.
had to move out. But speaking of the Epstein files,
Yeah.
I know you are currently reading her book,
Oh yeah, Virginia's book.
Virginia Guffrey's book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I know, like, Pam Bondi, James Comer is working to try and get her subpoenaed hearing scheduled in the next couple of weeks. So I'm hoping by the next 2 or 3
Mm.
weeks we have a date, and
Yeah.
that we actually have gotten a chance to see her, because, they have congressional hearings,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you can't lie under oath, and, like,
Right. Right.
how much is she going? I'm just curious. Like, obviously
Yeah.
she has, like, not been real responsive. I
Yeah.
saw a really good, her big quote in the last congressional hearing was, "Why didn't you ask Biden? Why didn't you ask,
Mhm.
Mar, uh, Mar Merrick, Garland Merrick?" I
Oh
kept wanting
yeah.
to say Marlon Garrick, Garland Merrick. Like, why didn't you
Yeah.
ask all these people? And Kamala Harris, I guess, came out and said, number one, at the time it was still an ongoing investigation, so
Yeah.
we couldn't just release files. And
Right.
number two, at the time there was a very divided, nonpartisan line that was drawn between the DOJ and the executive team. So
Mhm.
for Biden to go out and be like, "Hey, DOJ, release all the files that make Trump look bad," it at the time just didn't exist, because
Right.
they kept that separation of Department of Justice and the president that
Like you're
just doesn't
supposed to.
exist anymore.
Yeah.
So it'll be telling
Yeah.
if a Democrat is ever able to be elected again, because we're going to talk about the SAVE Act and some other
Mhm.
things. But if a Democrat's ever able to be elected again, it's going to be telling what happens with
Yeah.
the DOJ going forward. Because if we
Yeah.
try and deal with this, oh, we're going to, when they go low, we go high, go fuck yourself, release all
Mhm.
the Epstein files.
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. So back to the Epstein files.
Yeah.
Um, so the Alexander brothers, okay, so the Alexander brothers are three brothers, two of which are big into real estate, especially in New York. We know that they helped Ivanka and Jared with the purchase of a couple of homes that they purchased.
Mm-hmm.
They were tight in the New York real estate world. Same with Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And they were mentioned in the Epstein files having raped a 14-year-old girl.
Yep.
They were convicted on 10 different criminal accounts of sex trafficking and sexual assault and rape charges. What was it, just last week?
Yeah.
So two of the nation's most successful luxury real estate brokers were convicted of sex trafficking charges over accusations that they used drugs and force to rape scores of women that they had dazzled with their wealth and opulent lifestyle. 11 women testified that they were sexually assaulted. 60 women have come forward claiming some type of sexual assault or rape. Besides witness testimony, and this came from Fox, like Oklahoma or something like that. It came from a news station because for whatever reason, this isn't being like widely reported except the New York Times.
Yeah.
But beside witness testimony, prosecutors tried to prove their case through text and email messages in which the brothers seemed to boast about their sexual exploits and their knowledge of the effects of various drugs can have on a woman's inhibitions, along with a blog that included a post titled, "It's not rape if ... Yeah. Prosecutors said the brothers emailed about sneaking drugs or party favors onto a cruise ship, recorded at least one sexual assault on video, and shared photos of the victim. Orrin Alexander was also convicted of sexually exploiting a minor after prosecutors showed the jury a video he recorded of himself appearing to assault a drugged 17-year-old. The Alexander brothers were convicted in the U.S. Today of sex trafficking because they were also accused of raping a 14-year-old in the Epstein files.
Fucking
again
disgusting. Yeah, they need to burn.
You can only hear the Richard Gere gerbil story so many times before you have to believe it's true. If these guys are in the Epstein files and they were just convicted because they clearly were 100% believing that they were totally shielded from any type of, repercussions.
Yeah.
They all were.
Yeah.
They all were.
100%.
Including Donald Trump. Okay, tell us a little bit about the book. I know you brought the book with you.
I have the book.
So there was something that you were talking about today. So tell me what you were looking at today.
So the chapter I read this morning before I went to work, I stumbled across a footnote and I was like, oh, let me put a little bookmark in here. This would be great for the podcast. So on page 222, she's discussed. So in this part of the book, because also I have learned since reading this book, I'm learning more about the original non-prosecution agreement that happened in 2008 because I didn't know a lot of the details. And I am infuriated by how much these victims were lied to by the Department of Justice and by Acosta for the state. And they literally said, they told her, we can supply you with the name of a lawyer that could help you with a civil suit, which they did. And she didn't have anybody to help her. She asked for $500,000 and they were like, okay. And then she found out years later, some of the women got millions, but she didn't have any, she didn't know what to ask for. She just wanted them to pay something for her pain and suffering and all the things that she'd gone through and help pay for her therapy. You know what I mean? But the fucking government covering this shit up over and over and over again is fucking infuriating. Okay, back to this. So in this part of the book, she is talking about people that had still hung out. So Prince Andrew went to Epstein's Manhattan house in 2010. So this was after his conviction, after he served his time. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
So
his work camp.
Exactly. So Epstein threw a party for the prince at his house. Katie Couric was there. Chelsea Handler was there. Charlie Rose was there. George Stephanopoulos was there. Woody Allen was there with his wife at the time, who, let's talk about being a child predator, you know.
A minor. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So the sentence says, it seemed that being a sex offender had not eroded Epstein's social circle one bit. And then there's an asterisk. And at the bottom of the page, it says, only later would it become clear that Epstein had been shunned by at least one powerful person he'd previously wooed, Donald Trump. In the 2020 book, The Grifters Club, Trump, Mar-a-Lago, and the Selling of the Presidency, journalists Sarah Blasky, Nicholas Nehamis, Caitlin Ostroff, and Jay Weaver reported that Trump ended Epstein's membership at Mar-a-Lago and banned him from visiting in October of 2007 after Epstein hit on the teenage daughter of another member of Mar-a-Lago. So not because he was poaching employees from the spa at Mar-a-Lago, which is where she was working when they trafficked her. And that's the story that Trump has told repeatedly, that he quit his relationship with Epstein because he was poaching employees, and that made him mad. It's because he did the unforgivable act of hitting on another wealthy person's teenage daughter, and that couldn't be allowed to stand, because you could only hit on the less desirable folks. You know what I mean?
That's right. And it's got to make you wonder, is it because that person said, fire this guy? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, he can't be a member here anymore. Like, whatever he said to that guy, to that person's daughter, had to have been so egregious that it pushed Trump's hand. And the other thing that infuriates me about that non-prosecution agreement is none of the victims were told about it. That's why then there was that's why there was a lawsuit then later against the state of Florida for those victims, because none of them were told about it, and it violated the law. It violated a federal law because they were not told that he was going to cop to a plea deal and he wasn't really going to serve any time and be prosecuted for his crimes.
How could you tell someone that? How could you look someone
that we're going to let him walk on this? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me no one said anything to anyone, because I mean,
but prosecutors have to they have to talk to the victims' families, and they didn't do it.
Shocking. I'm so surprised.
When I read that, I was like, this motherfucker, like, out here telling all his followers, like, you know, all his fans, he was poaching employees, and I just couldn't have that. No, that's actually not what happened. And to your point, he never would have removed him from being a member of Mar-a-Lago if, you're probably exactly right, that family probably pushed him to remove him from the
so it is pretty sad to think about how these victims were treated. If you get a chance to watch the Epstein Trump special on Netflix, it's pretty good.
I watched it. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, because they talk about that. And so I think it was today, a group of senators, a bipartisan group of senators, has called on the Government Accountability Office to investigate the Department of Justice releasing redactions of documents related to this disgraced sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. So the letter was signed by Senators Dick Durbin, Jeff Merkley, and Lisa Murkowski. They allege that the DOJ did not comply with a law that aimed to compel the release of the Epstein files while protecting victims. Contrary to Congress's explicit directive to protect victims, these records include email addresses and nude photos in which the names and faces of publicly identified and non-public victims could be identified, the lawmakers wrote. But when it came to information identifying powerful business and political figures who are alleged co-conspirators or material witnesses, the DOJ appears to have heavily redacted those records. So at least we're going to have a GAO investigation, hopefully. They said they're considering it. I'm like, okay.
Wait, right. What do you mean?
So I don't know if we'll ever get, it seems like all of this is just getting let out little by little by little, that we aren't going to have a big, I'm hearing now that there are videos with Trump and children, and, we already got to read the allegations of Trump and children. And so it's there. We know it's there.
Yeah.
We heard, we know he was did inappropriate things with children that there's proof of, there are witnesses of. Like, again, so Trump's a rapist. Like, there's no way around it. Trump is a pedophile and a racist, and well, he is racist, but a rapist.
Yeah.
And there's no getting around that.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what happens too, since they are now digging around at the Zorro Ranch.
Okay. So that was the other thing that we were going to talk about is they're looking for bodies.
Yes, ma'am.
At the Zorro Ranch, like buried fucking bodies.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
The investigation started at the end of last week. Is that right? If I'm remembering correctly.
So what I have says that the State Department of Justice announced Monday that it has initiated a search of the late Epstein's sprawling southern Santa Fe County property. The search is ongoing, blah, blah, blah. Yes. But there was, so Texas real estate developer and political candidate Don Huffines purchased the ranch in 2023 and renamed it the San Rafael Ranch. Okay. He is planning on using the property to develop it as a Christian retreat. I don't know that there's enough sage on the fucking planet to get rid of the bad juju in that fucking place. Like,
I don't either.
Even if you believe in the Lord cannot help you in that place.
Well, and if I was a victim.
Oh, because Virginia was there.
Right. I would definitely haunt that place. There's no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. This person that in this article that I was reading, he's a radio host, and he's been local radio host in Albuquerque, has been following the Zorro Ranch case closely for years. And he said that he received an anonymous email in 2019 alleging 2 girls were buried near Epstein's property, and he forwarded that message to the FBI. Both died by strangulation during rough fetish sex, the anonymous email said. The writer purported to have videos showing Epstein with underage girls. The email was included among millions of files on Epstein in the U.S. that the U.S. Justice Department has released, prompting renewed calls for a probe at the ranch. But this radio host is like, I fucking told him about it in 2019.
Shocker. I'm so surprised.
Right.
I'm so surprised.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens when they start poking around and see what they find.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, it'll be interesting to see what comes out of it.
It definitely will be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Okay. Not to change topics entirely, but the other thing that is plaguing the world right now are tariffs.
Oh.
Of course, we know that the Supreme Court ruled the tariffs were illegal. Mm-hmm. That Trump had incorrectly used the act to instigate the tariffs. So now U.S. Customs and Border Protection has told the Court of International Trade Judge Richard Eaton, who was the original one that ruled that they were legal, it can't comply with an order to refund reciprocal tariffs imposed by President Donald Trump. The CBP, as they're called, or Customs and Border Protection, in a court filing disclosed it had collected about $166 billion in IEEPA tariffs last year.
Oh my God.
Involving more than 330,000 importers who made more than 53 million entries. They said that while they can't currently comply, they're hoping that in 45 days they can get their technology working well enough that they can begin issuing refunds. So here's what's really sad about this, is that those refunds are not going back to you and I who paid these tariffs.
Nope.
They're going back to the companies.
Yep. And then they're going to,
they are just going to keep them and give themselves.
They're going to double their fucking profits.
How big a bullshit is this shit?
Well, 100%, but we still will have MAGA supporters who are willing to die on the hill of tariffs that they didn't pay him to begin with. So it's right that they stay with the corporations.
How?
How can you believe that still? I know.
How? Why would you believe that?
Yeah.
Like, why would you believe that?
Yeah.
Who else paid them?
Right.
Do you think that the companies just absorbed those costs?
Yeah. Are you new to the planet?
Are you new to the goddamn planet?
Like, it makes
And
no common sense to think
I
that.
don't think that the people that believe in tariffs are even smart enough to think that. Because every time I hear it, it's the other country is paying the tariffs.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. China
I hear
had to
that
pay
all
it.
the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why do you think that?
Right. What are you talking about? Yeah.
Yeah. So I just like, oh God, these people.
Yeah.
So obviously so this has just been a big scam to make a whole bunch of money
Just
for
another
these
grift.
big corporations. Yeah. So at this point, like, this has just been another grift, to your point. Another way to get more money out of the American public. So yeah, maybe inflation isn't through the roof. That's great, but prices are still up because now we're having to pay these tariffs.
Well, yeah. And we all kind of know, like, oh, well, I shouldn't say we all kind of know. I assume people understand that once corporations realize that we have no choice but to pay the prices that they're putting out, the prices are never going down now. It doesn't matter.
The prices are
we
never
could hire
going
a
down
Democrat in 28 to run this fucking country, and the prices are not going to go down.
Never.
Because they're never going to cut into their fucking profits, ever.
Nope, never.
So
you are 1,000. We are absolutely stuck at the prices that they are now.
Yeah.
They will never go back down.
No.
So I hope you enjoy your.
Yeah.
Everything is more expensive.
Yes.
In addition to that, so there are 24 states that are suing. The 24 Democratic state attorney general and governors that filed a lawsuit Thursday asking the U.S. Court of International Trade to block implementation of President Donald Trump's new global 10% tariff on the grounds that it's unconstitutional and violates the law. It includes 24 states: Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Illinois, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Nevada, New Jersey, New Mexico, North Carolina, Rhode Island, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, Wisconsin, and the governors of Kentucky and Pennsylvania. New York Attorney General Letitia James said in a statement, once again, President Trump is ignoring the law and the Constitution to effectively raise taxes on consumers and small businesses. After the Supreme Court rejected his first attempt to impose sweeping tariffs, the president is causing more economic chaos and expecting Americans to foot the bill.
Yeah.
She is not wrong.
Nope.
She is not wrong. And today, Donald Trump launched a new investigation. So from NBC News, in a process that is likely to result in a fresh round of tariffs in the near future, the Office of U.S. Trade Representative is opening the formal probes into major trade partners. These include the European Union, Mexico, and China, each of which ranks among the top 5 sources of U.S. imports. Singapore, Switzerland, Norway, Indonesia, Malaysia, Cambodia, Thailand, Korea, Vietnam, Taiwan, Bangladesh, Japan, and India will also be targets of the investigation.
Oh my God, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Jane. Yes. Maybe we'll just be done sooner than we thought. So A, you can eat, and B, you don't murder your family.
I'm going to murder them all.
Yeah.
All right. U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer, on a call with reporters, said these investigations will focus on economies that we have evidence appear to exhibit structural excess capacity and production in various manufacturing sectors, such as through larger, persistent trade surpluses or underutilized or unused capacity. We expect that this investigation will uncover a variety of unfair trading practices. He said the U.S. would also be moving to launch an investigation related to the import of goods made with forced labor in a second announcement set for later this week, even though forced labor is already banned in our trade agreements. So sure.
Oh my God.
Good for you.
Oh my God.
So yeah, so we're going to have a whole new fresh round of tariffs that will likely cause even more expensive imports for all of us. So yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Love being alive in this timeline. I fucking love it.
Do you?
No, I don't.
This timeline.
I fucking hate it.
I hate it too.
This is
so
so
fucking bad.
Stupid. So stupid.
It really is. Yes. Okay, so besides those major things, the one other thing that is happening right now is the SAVE Act.
Yeah.
Trump came out today and said that he is not signing one more bill until the SAVE Act is signed.
Not even with the auto pin? We're not even going to auto pin sign a bill.
Trump threatens not to sign any bills until Congress approves the Strict Voter ID Act. And I don't know if you heard, but he asked for transgender surgeries to be outlawed for minors. And women can't play in men's sports. Yeah. As part of the SAVE Act. And Kristi Pickme came back and said, that shows you how common sense those things are, that he would want to attach them to the SAVE Act.
Oh, what?
I know. So this is from The Guardian. Donald Trump renewed his push on Monday for the Save America Act, a curtailment of voting access, after threatening on Sunday not to sign any bills until Congress approves legislation.
I refuse. I will not sign it.
Right. All voters must show proof of citizenship in order to vote, the U.S. president said during remarks on Monday at a Republican event in Miami. No mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel. He claimed that if the bill were to pass, Democrats probably won't win an election for 50 years and maybe longer.
Which is the goal.
This is what he thinks.
Mm-hmm.
The president fixated on, I love The Guardian. Like, I tried to pick.
I know, but their shit's so good.
Sources that are not like super biased.
Heavily skewed. Yeah.
Right. The furthest I like to go is CNN. And even then I'm like, okay, can I corroborate this with some other source?
Yeah. What's the Onion saying about this? Maybe I can offset CNN by the Onion.
Right. But The Guardian and NPR and PBS, it's so hard not to use some of their articles.
I know.
Because they are so good.
And I love their reporting because I'm like, yeah, they fucking hate this guy as much as I do.
I know they do. But at the end of the day, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay. The president fixated on unsubstantiated claims that non-citizens are stealing U.S. elections ahead of midterm elections that are expected to be bruising for Republicans, said on True Social on Sunday that the Save America Act must be done immediately and supersedes everything else. We must go to the front of the line. I, as president, will not sign other bills until this is passed. And not the watered down version. Go for the gold, he wrote.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Go for the gold.
That's what he said. So yeah, so that's his big thing with the SAVE Act, which we know will disenfranchise so many voters.
Yep.
Many of which live in our area. So we are in Kansas City.
Yep.
The bill in Kansas just invalidated driver's license for trans people whose sex on their driver's license did not match their sex at birth.
Correct.
So all of those people, their driver's licenses were invalidated.
1,700
any document they have that state issued is invalidated.
Yep.
And now they have no way to vote. They would have no way to register to vote.
Yep. Yes.
Unless they could
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, so 1,700 people immediately had their licenses invalidated from the jump.
Love it.
And then, but there's 2 anonymous trans residents that are suing the state of Kansas. I think through the ACLU has taken up their case.
Really?
But the judge declined to grant a temporary restraining order against the law while the case proceeds. So the case or the law is law because the judge would not, make them hold off like they typically do until the lawsuit's done. He stated that there isn't enough evidence to show that trans people will face harassment and discrimination if they have to use bathrooms or show IDs that conflict with their gender identities. So prior to this, Kansas had allowed trans people to update the gender markers on their IDs since 2007. And then in 2023, it changed its legal definition of sex to be male or female and assigned at birth. And, Laura Kelly vetoed it, and then they overrode her veto to pass it. But now so it's fucking crazy. Yeah. So it's the ACLU that has proceeded with the lawsuit. They said in court Friday when they were arguing it, that the Kansas legislature singled out trans Kansans for unique social stigma. They were suddenly required with no notice or opportunity to be heard to present themselves to the DMV to obtain driver's licenses that announced to everyone, the teller at the bank, the clerk at the hotel, the poll worker on election day, that they are transgender. And it was interesting because when I was reading this article, one of the people in the article was like, if I have to start I fully transitioned. I appear, as a man now, but I have to go, you want me to go into a women's restroom, but I no longer appear feminine at all because I'm not, because I'm a man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's just this whole thing of but we've got to protect women and girls. No, you don't. Because again, let's just point right back to the Epstein files. You aren't protecting women and girls because that's never been what this is about. So you're disenfranchising. You're using this as a way to immediately disenfranchise an entire group of people because you don't really care how they vote, but you're assuming that most of them vote liberally. And so that's you want. And so Missouri's looking at doing the same thing.
I just do not understand.
Yeah.
Why we are so fixated on people's genitalia.
I don't either. It's fucking weird. It's fucking weird. And we have much bigger things to be worried about because what's interesting too, the article that I read, which I did get this article off NPR, for the Missouri bill. So it was interesting on here because the bill filed by Republican State Rep Becky Lobinger of Park Hills would require all public buildings to separate restrooms, changing rooms, and sleeping areas by her proposed definition of sex. It's a protective measure, she said, for spaces where people are most vulnerable. She gave a secondhand story about two men who made no attempt to look female using a woman's restroom and claiming that they identified as women. Right. That's a predator. That's not a trans person. We're not talking about the same fucking thing here.
That's right. And they should go to jail. That's a person that should go to jail.
This is not the same thing.
Yeah, this is not apples and oranges. This is not apples and apples. This is apples and oranges.
100%. But do you realize that if this passes in Missouri, all of the bathrooms at KCI that are just what am I looking for? The
gender neutral.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the fucking word. I'm telling you, this fucking menopause brain is wordless. But the gender neutral bathrooms at KCI, they would be fined for it if they continue to let those operate as gender neutral restrooms. If this law passes, it's fucking infuriating.
And what's really crazy to me is I have used those gender neutral bathrooms.
I just did it in January when we went on our cruise.
No problem with them whatsoever.
No. And I didn't have
problem whatsoever.
I washed my hands at the sink right next to a dude and it was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine.
And it was fine. It was fucking fine.
Yeah. And I went in that restroom because there were no stalls open in the women's restroom. And I was like, let me go on over here where there's an assload of stalls open so I can get my business accomplished.
That's exactly right. Yep. That's exactly right. Yeah. I got to be honest. The fact that our lawmakers can just I just can't believe we're this concerned with the way people's and I can't believe it.
No. And this is again why we have hammered several times on this podcast about how you vote at the local level is so fucking important. Yes. It's not just at 100%. The federal level. And because Trump, because the states run the elections, this is the kind of shit that fucking matters because this is how they're disenfranchising. So if the SAVE Act doesn't pass, it doesn't fucking matter because your states are doing this bullshit to disenfranchise an entire group of fucking people from voting.
You're 100% correct. At the end of the day, these 1,700 people, now none of them have a drive. The only thing I'm happy about is that they did it early enough that hopefully most of these people have the chance to go and get an updated driver's license.
Well, and their birth certificate. If they've updated their birth certificate, now they got to fucking, how do you untangle that fucking web?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Can we not just leave fucking trans people alone? Leave them the fuck alone.
Can you update your birth certificate?
Well, I thought that it said that. I don't know. I could be lying. I thought that when I was reading about the Kansas one that you could update, that people had updated their birth certificates, but I could be lying.
They might have. Honestly, it's totally possible. Like who knows?
Yeah, I could be lying. But yeah, I mean, it's
but
just,
to your point, for sure, your other documents, your driver's license, your passport, all of that obviously now would likely need to get updated. So
yeah. Oh yeah, the law also invalidated birth certificates for those who had updated their gender markers.
Okay.
Yeah. And hundreds of the trans drivers already received letters from the state informing them their documents were immediately invalid and they may be subject to additional penalties if they continue to drive unless they surrender the license to the Kansas Division of Vehicles and receive a new one with their assigned at birth sex.
Oh my God.
Because they immediately made those driver's licenses invalid. So like they're just driving around on an expired license now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so
on an invalid license.
Yeah, and and then now having to fuck with your birth certificate if you had your gender markers changed on that to now have to change it back. What the fuck? And now you're you're gonna go present a license somewhere that shows you as a female, and you're clearly presenting as the man that you are.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that's awful.
It's fucking infuriating. It's fucking infuriating.
It really is. And especially because at the end of the day, listening to these stories of these people that go through gender reassignment, it's brutal.
Yeah.
Between the surgeries that they have to do. Like,
yes. And the hormones they have to take.
Yes. I was talking to someone who does, I won't give too much away, but do you realize that people who want to go from male to female and have a vagina created, because they create it by basically turning your inside out, you have to get electrolysis in that.
I didn't realize. I knew that they turned it inside out, but I didn't know how it was accomplished.
Because if hair grows,
it's inside.
Yeah. And there's no way to remove it. Mm-hmm. Like you can't wax inside you. Can you imagine trying to wax inside your vagina?
No.
Right.
Well,
so like that's the kind of shit you have to do.
Yeah. And it's part of the reason why and I think it's someone that I used to know that's a trans man had not had bottom surgery for that very reason. Because the process of doing bottom surgery was so overwhelming and costly and all of the things that like still has not done that process. And I get it. But still to the world is presenting as the man that they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just, they hyperfixate on it's gender dysmorphia. And we're letting these kids, these minors make decisions that their adult selves are going to hate. And now we're just going to ban everybody from, deciding who they are as an adult. And it's fucking crazy.
But the reality is, and you and I both know this, that at the end of the day, it's like nobody's performing surgery on a 13-year-old kid.
No.
That's not happening.
No.
Like the story that they had about the school that at the State of the Union, I told you that story and how like it was greatly modified from reality because that's the only examples. Like in what I can't remember, it was a Senate hearing where they were asking, is there actually like Republicans are like, well, people are identifying as cats and so they're going to the bathroom in litter boxes.
Yes.
Has that happened? Have we actually heard of that happening? Do you have an example of that happening? Well, no, but blah, blah, blah. Like it's just infuriating.
And I go back to if a minor wants to start puberty blockers, that is a discussion between the patient, their parent, and a doctor. And that is the government has no business in that discussion.
None.
Just like they have no business in the discussion of whether or not I should be able to access birth control.
Right.
Because I don't want to have a child. Or because I have horrible fucking periods and I need to stop my period. That is the government has no place in that discussion. And to say otherwise because they're a minor, that's what the parent is for. Because all these fucking non-vaxxers don't want the government telling them that they have to vaccinate their children. But all of a sudden that conversation, that methodology, that thought process goes away when we start talking about trans people. Yes. It is, the fucking hypocrisy is goddamn infuriating. Sorry, I'll get off my soapbox now.
It's absolutely fucking infuriating. It absolutely is fucking infuriating.
Yeah.
It should always be a joint effort between the patient, their doctor, and their parent.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day,
the
government has no business being in the middle of that.
No.
Oh, God.
I know, girl.
If only women ran the world.
Oh, my God. Can we just try it?
No shit. Okay. Anything else?
No.
Talk to us about America's Favorite Widow.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, we can put that to next week if you want to put it to next week. Because I know we're kind of over.
I probably have enough of Betty barking up a storm to cut out that we have some extra minutes.
Okay.
So I think you have a couple of comments about America's Favorite Widow.
Yes. So let me get, I want to get to the first one. Hold on. Because I have two. Yes, for America's Widow. So this is from The Guardian. Again. But so Trump appointed her this week to the advisory board for the U.S. Air Force Academy.
Of course.
Yes. So yes. Doesn't that just...
Thank God she's part of the advisory board.
Correct.
Thank God.
Yeah. So she is joining a number of other loyalists to the 16-member panel. It's the Academy's Board of Visitors, which, according to its website, inquires into the morale, discipline, curriculum, instruction, physical equipment, fiscal affairs, academic methods, and other matters of the Colorado Springs military training facility. So her husband, as you all will know, was the slain Charlie Kirk, was appointed by Trump to the board a year earlier and served until his death. So she's taking his spot. As the good widow that she is, she's going to step in. And she's also going to be on it with good old Mark Wayne Mullen. So he can defend her honor if at any point her honor were to be called into judgment. Don't you worry about it. Mark Wayne's going to be there. He is an undefeated MMA fighter. Don't you forget about it. He's going to be defending her honor. So, yeah. So
he's going to be fighting members of the U.S. Air Force, is he?
Exactly. So she said, this is her thing. Charlie served proudly on the board, inspiring not only the next generation of service members, but millions around the world with his bold Christian faith, defense of the truth, and deep love of country. She will continue his legacy and will be a fearless advocate for the most elite air power force in the history of the world, whose warriors keep our nation safe, strong, and free. Okay. So that's the first thing on America's Widow that I had to share with you. And then
thank God she's serving. Thank God she's serving.
I'm so glad that, because now when she's been questioned, I saw this, a clip of an article where she was questioned about, like, what do you say to people who say, like, you're out here now working and you're not staying at home with your kids? And she's like, because my husband was murdered and I have to support my children. Who else is going to do it? I don't know. The next man that you marry, trad wife?
Yeah.
Because
shouldn't you be out looking for a man?
Yes. Because you peddled this fucking theory that women needed to be subservient to their men. And whatever. Okay. So the other thing has to do with, this is coming from the Arkansas Democrat Gazette reporting. Let's ignore the fact that it says Democrat. It's a local paper.
Well, and the Arkansas Gazette Democrat paper.
Yes.
My cousin actually, I think, wrote for that paper for a while.
Okay.
And so to your point, it's not a political affiliation.
Yeah. And not probably super left leaning because is it?
It's Arkansas.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say, it's Arkansas.
So it's Little Rock. So, but like, in all fairness, my cousin was a reporter who, I don't want to say anything wrong. I'm going to say it wrong, and then I'm going to get in trouble, and she's going to yell at me and be like, so I'm not going to say it wrong, but we'll just say that, no, I think that she was pretty proud of them being very, anyway.
Yes. Okay. So, this happened today in the state of Arkansas. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders announced a statewide partnership with the conservative advocacy group Turning Point USA at the governor's mansion alongside America's Widow, Erica Kirk. So a news release from the governor's office included few details about the announcement, but a release from Turning Point described it as a statewide Club America partnership. Club America is the group's high school chapter-based program. The announcement with Sanders marks the next step forward in Turning Point USA's mission to put chapters on every high school and college in America. So in December, Texas Governor Greg Abbott launched an initiative to establish Club America chapters in every high school in the state of Texas. Abbott announced in his news release at the time that any school who stands in the way of a Club America program will be reported immediately to the Texas Education Agency, where an investigation will be opened and disciplinary action will be taken if necessary.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
oh God.
we're attempting, like originally, you know, Charlie was all about his disdain for the college educated because he wasn't college educated. And so that's where all the Club America shit started, was at college campuses. And now America's Widow is like, that's too old. We got to start this shit when they're young. Let's get them in high school. And then pretty soon it's going to be, how about second grade?
Yeah. You're not wrong. I mean, that's 100%.
This is the Hitler Youth.
And it's youth indoctrination. Yeah. Like that's how you get them, is you do it young.
They get away with it being in a public school because it's a club. So it's not mandatory. It's not being taught as part of the mandatory curriculum. It's a club. Right.
Yeah.
So is Hitler Youth.
Well, that's exactly what I'm thinking, is like Hitler Youth, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. Oh,
so if you thought, I was going to say, if you thought America's Widow was taking some time off, you would be wrong.
Or that she was just going to sit around and take care of her kids like an actual trad wife.
No.
You were wrong.
She is boss girl in the shit out of that CEO position she's got.
She sure should is. She sure should is. I am surprised to hear, knowing how much Charlie Kirk was against another war in Iran, that she hasn't mentioned anything about it.
Oh, I know. She's staying out of that. Yeah.
Well,
she's letting Nick Fuentes speak for her. Yes.
Her future ex-husband, JD Vance, can't.
She doesn't want to ruin her possible chances of being the first lady.
That's right. If that eventually happens.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Oh my God.
All right.
Are you ready for your happy ending? Okay.
Yes.
So this is coming to us from where? I should know this. I looked at this earlier today. England. So sorry. Kent, England. So Colleen Ferguson says her German Shepherd saved her life by detecting cancer in its earliest stage, causing her to suspect something might be wrong when the dog kept obsessively smelling her breath. This is the weirdest story. So for weeks, her 2-year-old German Shepherd would sniff at her mouth and frown.
Oh.
So the woman went and got her teeth checked. Her doctors did tests related to her gluten intolerance. They all came back negative. The dog would not stop. Would not stop.
Weird.
So she decided to schedule a full body scan, which revealed a golf ball sized tumor in her left lung, and it was stage 1 cancer.
So they say that the cancer sniffing on golden retrievers is second to none.
Really? And this is a German Shepherd.
Oh.
Isn't that weird?
Well, that response doesn't make any sense.
No, it does though, because I didn't know that about Goldens. Like I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yes.
So I just was like, what the fuck? So she had never been a smoker. So she was shocked to have lung cancer. Go ahead.
I could be wrong. So a University of California study, maybe it is German Shepherds, because it says German Shepherds are highly effective at detecting cancer through scent, with studies showing they can identify various cancers, including lung, ovarian, and something that ends in sarcoma, in blood, breath, or urine samples with up to 90 to 99% accuracy.
They're as accurate as Mark Wayne Mullen being an undefeated MMA fighter. I had no idea.
You're not wrong.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
So this says that after they removed her tumor, she didn't need any further treatment or radiation because they caught it so early.
So early. Wow.
So the dog literally saved her life. So researchers in the UK have evidence that is proving that dogs can indeed detect cancer with their superior sense of smell. So they began a groundbreaking study in 2024 to teach 7 different pooches, labs, cockers, and a retriever how to detect tumors simply by smelling urine in pots. So now clinical trials have proven that dogs can reliably detect diseases including prostate cancer, bladder cancer, COVID, and Parkinson's. and that they can be trained to do so. But now MIT is developing a machine nose that can do the same thing using AI to replicate the dog's responses to cancer samples.
Wow. It says that Labrador retrievers are so good that if you train them, they are up to 97 to 99% accurate.
That is wild.
It is wild. That is crazy.
I had no idea. Yeah, that's so freaking cool.
That is really cool, especially because, like, can you imagine if all dogs are just trained this way and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially lung cancer. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah. Huh. And it makes sense that you could train a dog to do this. We train dogs to be service animals all the time, to know when a seizure is imminent, to know when blood sugar is too high.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know, but like the idea that cancer creates a scent in the first place is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. And that you are not aware of it. You know what I mean?
Freaking cool.
I know. I thought it was super fucking cool too.
I knew, like, I've heard stories like this in the past that are interesting like that, but to like force me to look it up and then find out that they can be that accurate is really fucking cool.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your happy ending.
Well, that's a good note to leave on. Although, let's be honest, if Republicans get their way and we don't hire another Democrat for 50 years, I might just let the cancer take me.
I'm just going to lay down in the front yard and hope that Iran's drone is like ground
shoots
zero.
Me. Yes, I'm going to move. I will volunteer as tribute human shield for the Americas.
Human shield,
whatever that is.
Yes,
I will volunteer as human shield for the Americas.
Yes, holy shit.
Yeah, special envoy, sisters, cousins, brothers, roommates, uncle.
Oh my God.
Yes, Americas. I'll do it.
That's hilarious. Oh my God.
Okay, well, this has been a particularly interesting podcast. I have a hangnail that is absolutely driving me crazy, so I got to go figure that the heck out.
Yeah.
And Betty is, as
losing
you are
her
well
shit.
aware, absolutely driving me. Okay, there
She's
we go.
not detecting cancer. She's just going batshit crazy.
I know. In all fairness, she could be like detecting cancer for me, and maybe that's what she's alerting me to is.
And you're just pissed off about it.
Bitch, you got cancer, and I have no idea, and I'm just letting
mad
her
about
bark,
it.
like,
yeah,
yes, a mad woman. So with that said, maybe I'll go check on her and make sure she's doing okay.
Exactly.
I hope you all have a chance to like and please subscribe and watch our podcast at a minimum. Otherwise, share it with your uncle that you hate because we really like to annoy people and he'll really love the stuff about the Epstein files.
Oh yeah.
And the tariffs. We promise that he'll just love it.
Yes.
In the meantime, we hope you guys have a fabulous week. I will try and get this out earlier than the last one because I sucked last time.
It's fine.
This time I will try to do better. With that said, we hope you all have a fabulous weekend, rest of your week. We love you. Goodbye.
Good night.